Hey guys, I'm Bryce Kahn,
I'm Kyle Testor.
and we did our project on nanoribbons to power implantable devices. So the problem at hand here is numerous implantable devices may have long battery lives, but are limited. And implantable biomedical devices are used with like a wired setting. This setting may cause skin infections, discomfort, and other hazards to patients. Currently, these implanted batteries, they provide energy, but not naturally, it's through batteries. And these batteries have a fixed energy density, and they only last about 5 to 7 years, and they cause chemical side effects, and they're kind of large in size. So the objective we want to do is we want to make implantable devices more friendly and more efficient. We want people to be more like willing to have these implantable devices in them. So our goal is to find a different alternative for these wired, like complicated large settings. So how are we going to do this? We want to use nanoribbons to power these implantable devices. We want to find an energy harvesting device that generates electrical energy from like the ambient environment of the human body. So get rid of these batteries, but use a way in our bodies to, like conduct electricity or come up with the energy from our own bodies instead of batteries. And implantable devices, if you don't know, like they're pacemakers, defibrillators, and like they're man-made structures. They're not, some people will confuse them with like a transplant, but transplants are from our own bodies. They're like transplanted biomedical tissue that like our own body makes. But these are man-made devices that are put in. So pacemakers, defibrillators, nerve stimulators, ear implants, diaphragm, and like all these multitudes of different medical devices to help us function.
So graphene nanoribbons are just take graphene nanotubes that are cut, or another way to grow them is to grow them on germanium wafers, which will allow us to create any size nanoribbon we want, so we can get the perfect size for what we need. And these have been used to create prototype transistors because they have high electrical conductivity, and below 30 nanometers they are semiconducting and piezoelectric, which means they can turn mechanical energy into electrical energy. So our plan is to take a small strip and attach it to either the heart or the lung, or to the heart of the lung, which will then generate electricity, which we can then, a thinner wire to the pacemaker or other implantable devices. Some other studies have found that there are sub-skin implants, which you just place right below, and it'll generate electricity off the skin stretching or certain movements like the rotating of the shoulder. And this is good because it allows the charging of devices, because once the battery runs out of a pacemaker, you actually have to take the entire pacemaker out and get a new one. So this will allow you to skip that extra surgery and keep it going for as long as it can. And these are a lot smaller designs, so the wires are a lot thinner. And it can power future technology like certain tracking devices a good amount of people actually want, and some future tech like artificial limbs. And the only problem is we don't know the long-term effect of attaching this to a heart. We know that there are sleeves for the heart that force the beating of the heart. So if we put a small band, it might not affect it as much. But we don't know the addition of the certain graphene in the body. And it's actually more dangerous surgery than actually having a pacemaker implanted.
So the way this relates to biology, nanotechnology is what we're focusing on, and then biology. There's a subgroup, bio-nanotechnology, and it's like nanotechnology. We study how biology works at a molecular level, how our functions, cells, all that work, and we actually kind of mimic it with nanotechnology. We find the functions and either try to mimic it in a molecular way with nanotechnology, or like find ways to even improve it. And companies and institutions that would want to would be interested in our product, here's just a couple of them. all these companies, they specialize in their own thing. But like the site immune, they target like the delivery of drugs and stuff inside the body, and we can use that. They can use that. Nanobio is just another thing, but that's more like the skin stretching and all that, like at an epithelial, I can't say it, sorry, but like a layer that's like at our skin, like, you know, and then like AP Nano, Keystone Nano, they focus on like, Keystone Nano focuses on the medical and would be interested in like the efficiency like internally with like our lungs and like more deeper stuff. In the Alliance for Nano Health and Research, there are 8 separate institutions that focus on the research of nanotechnology in like medical health. So they would be interested in our product because it can like increase the amount of data, increase the amount of like research in that area. So here's our sources. And
All right. Questions?
With the buildup of a charge from either the shoulder or the heart theoretically, aren't you worried about a buildup of static electricity around vital organs?
I mean, we will have a small battery by the pacemaker just to hold the charge, but it's going to be a small implant because the pacemaker doesn't require that much energy. We're just trying to remove the battery life of having it drained down, so we're going to constantly charge it. But this small implant will take away the, because the pacemaker, the battery for the pacemaker goes like, it's like right under the collarbone, and it sends the charge down, so if we'll remove it from the major heart and lung area.
So you're converting the mechanical energy of the body into electrical energy that you can store in a battery to use power devices. What was that mechanical energy being used for before, like specifically like for the heart? If you're converting like mechanical engineering, the mechanical energy of the beating heart, wasn't that going towards beating the heart?
the body's like filled with just like movement, mechanical energy that,
Everybody has ways to deal with that, right?
yeah, but we can use like excess, like that movement, even like you walking around, your shoulder movement, everything, we can, it's like a way to convert that to like power to use like, for those pacemakers and stuff like that. So,
Will using that energy cause any side effects to the movement of the body?
that's what
It
I'm
shouldn't.
Should?
It shouldn't at all, because it won't affect the movement of the body at all. So the electricity shouldn't just go into the battery and the power. the
Because we're using like, people would already have pacemakers, and our goal is to like shrink that, I guess you could say. Shrink the size of it, shrink the, like, we're taking out the battery of it, so they don't have to keep going in
It
for
removes the
procedures.
extra surgery that you have to get to remove the entire pacemaker once it runs out.
Yeah. We just wanna say like one procedure and limit the amount of procedures, not every 5 years you come in and have another surgery or something. And we want people to be more like comfortable with, like smaller, so.
Just one more question.
I guess this is the last question. May I have your names again?
I'm Bryce Khan, and he's Kyle.
Okay, my question is, what is the source of energy that gets into the graphene? Is it the heat of the body? Is it
It's the
What actually is
mechanical-
translated?
The movement of the.
organ
it's
itself?
The movement of the organ itself.
Yeah, it's like the graphene nanoribbons, they're piezoelectric, which it's like it converts the energy around them.
The
So it's like, you know how the
mechanical
body
energy
just like it has multiple functions, multiple ways of, has energy inside the blood flow, all that type of stuff. And it can just use that to convert to electrical energy, like that excess
And
or,
that's enough to power.
yeah, because they're, yeah.
And that's already existing now, or?
There's some basic testing. It's very early. Someone created a small test one and put it on a cow heart, but it failed because it wasn't properly implanted. But other than that, there's no other major.
Like, yeah, it's like just starting out, so we just thought it was like a really cool idea.
Oh,
We're like trying to find more out about it and more stuff's
Right.
going on, so.
okay. Okay, because that being the source is probably your debacle there, is translation, because you don't have a 100% transmission of equal percentage,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
So if you have mechanical to
Yeah.
electrical, you're probably only getting 20% out of what was the actual
These are actually highly
thing.
efficient. Apparently, one source said it was 85%.
Mm.
And some of them, one source was saying they put them on the bottom of the shoes. You put them on the bottom of the shoes, you have enough power to generate, to power a phone.
Yeah, but that is external. You're
Yeah.
relying on internal
Yes.
beating and internal movement of muscles, for example, and like how much is that, and then how much you can actually harness from it, you know? And I think again, that's a very good idea. It's a matter of getting in there and how to improve that probably in the presentation. So, thank you. Very good.